Am I the asshole for telling my African-American friend she can't gatekeep my culture? Hi-yo. I'm a 26-year-old woman of Asian descent, not specifying exactly which country for privacy. And I've found myself in a situation that's left me confused, frustrated, and honestly, a little hurt. I have a diverse, vibrant group of friends. Some are white, but many are people of color, and we usually get along really well. We have our debates, differences, and messy group chats like anyone else, but there's always been a strong sense of respect among us. Or so I thought. A few weeks ago, one of my close friends, a white guy I'll call Ben, shared a video on Instagram. Ben had taken time off work to backpack across several Asian countries. He's always been curious about cultures, respectful and eager to learn in an open, non-performative way. While visiting my family's home country, he attended a local festival and wore traditional clothing that was gifted to him by the hosts. In the video, he's seen walking through a bustling market, interacting kindly with locals, and yes, still wearing those traditional garments. I watched it with a smile. To me, it was heartwarming. In my culture, we love when people from other backgrounds take an interest in our customs. It's not just allowed, it's encouraged. We don't see it as cultural appropriation, we see it as appreciation. Seeing someone take pride in wearing our traditional clothes, enjoying our food, learning our dances, it makes us feel seen. We've spent so long being ignored, stereotyped, or misunderstood that when someone approaches our culture with genuine interest, it's cause for celebration. But not everyone saw it that way. Within hours of Ben posting the video, our group chat exploded. Several of my African-American friends were furious. They called him a colonizer, accused him of fetishizing the culture, and claimed he was using his white privilege to wear another people's identity like a costume. One friend, let's call her Kyra, was especially vocal. She wasn't just criticizing the video. She was angry at me. She said I was being too soft, that I was letting white people walk all over my heritage, and that I didn't understand the historical context. Now, to be clear, most of my friends calmed down once I spoke up. I explained that in my culture this wasn't just accepted, it was encouraged. That the people in the video with Ben had welcomed him and offered him those clothes themselves. That when someone wears our garments respectfully, we don't see it as stealing, we see it as honoring us. Most of them, after hearing this, backed off and even apologized. But not Kyra. Kyra doubled down. Every time the topic came up, she brought it back to Ben. She continued to call him a colonizer, mock his savior complex, and insisted that no white person had the right to wear something from a culture they benefited from oppressing. It didn't matter how many times I told her that this wasn't her culture to be offended on behalf of. It didn't matter that I, the person supposedly being disrespected, was telling her that I wasn't disrespected at all. She wouldn't let it go. At one point I told her, frankly and maybe a little bluntly, that her refusal to listen was more offensive to me than anything Ben had done. That she was the one crossing a line. That I was tired of watching her try to gatekeep a culture that wasn't hers, ignoring everything I said because it didn't fit her narrative. I asked her to drop it. That didn't go over well. She accused me of being brainwashed, said I was defending white supremacy, and claimed that I was just trying to stay in their good graces. She even said, "You don't get to forgive colonizers on behalf of all of us," to which I replied, "You don't get to be offended on behalf of a culture you're not part of, especially when that culture is telling you it's okay." Things were tense for a while. We didn't speak much, though she continued to post vague comments online about people who excuse racism and internalized white worship. A few nights ago, I asked her to meet up in person so we could talk like adults. We sat down at a quiet cafe and tried to have an honest conversation. I explained, again, how my culture genuinely believes in openness and sharing. I told her about the warmth with which we treat visitors, the joy we feel when others embrace our traditions, and the pride I felt watching someone wear our clothes with respect. She nodded, but then said I was being naive, that I was ignoring the bigger picture, that I didn't understand what it meant to be oppressed because Asians are treated like model minorities. That I was, in her words, playing the colonized pet for white approval. She said the problem wasn't just Ben wearing the clothing, it was that people like me let it happen and called it progress. That hurt. I told her calmly but clearly that I didn't need her to be outraged on my behalf, that my culture's history was complicated, and yes, We had our own scars from colonization and cultural erasure, but we'd chosen to respond with generosity and pride. I told her that every culture has its own boundaries, and hers weren't the only ones that mattered. She shrugged and said, "Well, I guess we just see the world differently." We do, and after that conversation, I realized we probably always will. I haven't decided yet whether to cut ties completely, but the friendship feels fractured in a way I'm not sure can be fixed. I don't hate her. I think she genuinely believes she's standing up for what's right. But there's a line between solidarity and saviorism, and I don't think she sees how far past it she's gone. So I'll ask you, am I the asshole for telling my friend that she can't gatekeep my culture, and for saying that her outrage was more offensive to me than my white friend wearing traditional clothing?